Have you ever noticed something strange about your favorite podcasts? No, we're not talking about that podcast.
We did it. We did it.
No matter who's speaking, a comedian, a scientist, or a startup founder, the voices all feel warm, intimate, and strangely close. Almost as if the speaker is sitting right beside you. It's not an accident, and it's not even editing magic. It's a microphone. A single microphone so iconic and universally loved that it has quietly shaped the sound of modern podcasting. This is the Shure SM7B, the microphone behind countless podcasts, radio shows, music albums, and even Michael Jackson's Thriller. But why this mic? Why not dozens of other mics that look similar, cost less, or promise more? Today we'll explore the science, psychology, and design behind the world's most popular podcast microphone, and along the way uncover why great audio matters far more than you think. Humans have been telling stories with sound for at least 100,000 years, and video, barely over 100. Our brains evolved around voice, tone, breath, and cadence, the tiny vibrations that tell us whether somebody is calm, angry, or nervous. That's why poor video quality is tolerated, but poor audio? Instant drop-off. Studies show that audio quality directly influences how trustworthy a speaker seems. Crisp sound increases perceived intelligence and credibility. So podcasters obsess over sound for one simple reason. If your audio is bad, your message simply doesn't land. And that brings us to the microphone built to make voices not just clear, but compelling. Shure makes many microphones, but in podcasting, three names come up again and again. The SM58, the classic stage mic. It's durable enough to hammer nails and still record vocals. Cheap, legendary, but not a studio king. The SM7B, the podcast icon. Flat frequency response, rich low end, and magical rejection of background noise. The SM7DB, the SM7B but supercharged. The same sound, but with a built-in preamp so beginners don't need expensive gear to power it. So what's the difference? Your SM58 was built for live performance. It has more pronounced mid-range bite, and it's great for singing and shouting. It's not ideal for intimate warm podcast sound though. Your SM7B is extremely flat and natural sounding. It smooths harsh frequencies and is highly directional. Your SM7DB is your SM7B, but with a built-in clean preamp. It's perfect for creators who want plug-and-play simplicity. No need for cloud lifter or expensive interfaces. So podcasters pick the SM7B because it sounds professional, and the SM7DB because it makes sounding professional easier. But the real secret lies not in the names, but in the technology inside them. Every microphone is basically a device that turns air vibrations into electricity. But the way that they do it divides microphones into two major species. Condenser microphones, or as I call them, the studio butterfly. They're extremely sensitive, capturing detail, room tone, breath, and even clothing rustles. They're brilliant for music and voiceovers. They require phantom power, but they pick up everything, including your neighbor's dog. These are microscopes for sound. Beautiful, precise, but unforgiving. Dynamic microphones, the rugged workhorse. They're less sensitive, handle loud volumes. They reject unwanted room noise and require no external power. They sound warm, controlled, and intimate, and are perfect for everyday rooms, imperfect acoustics, and podcasts. This is why the SM7B dominates the podcast world. Most podcasters aren't recording in professional studios. They're home, in their bedrooms, or spare rooms, or offices, places full of echoes, fan noise, and traffic. A condenser mic would capture all of that. A dynamic mic cuts through everything except the voice. In short, dynamic mics forgive your environment. Condenser mics reveal it. Microphones also differ in how they listen. This is their polar pattern, the shape of area they capture sound from. Omnidirectional hears everything in 360. Great for roundtable discussions, but they are terribly noisy for homes. Supercardioids and hypercardioids offer very narrow pickup. They're great for film sets and are sensitive to how the speaker moves. Cardioids, the SM7B's pattern, offers a heart-shaped capture zone. It tunes out the background noise and encourages close, warm, and intimate voice tone. The SM7B isn't just listening, it's listening strategically. There's a psychological trick embedded in how this mic sounds. The SM7B generates what audio engineers call proximity effect. When you speak closely into it, your voice gets deeper, warmer, and fuller, more radio-like. And that's because the mic rejects room noise so effectively that the listener's brain interprets your voice as direct and personal, almost like whispering. This creates intimacy, a human connection, the feeling that the host is talking directly to you. Podcasters want this. Listeners crave it. So the SM7B just doesn't capture your voice, it sculpts it into something more cinematic. So why do podcasters overwhelmingly use the Shure SM7B? Because it solves every problem of real-world recording while amplifying every psychological advantage of human communication. It's forgiving, it's warm, it's iconic. And whether you realize it or not, you've been hearing it for years. Not only because it's trendy, but because it's quietly shaped the sound of an entire generation of storytellers. In a world full of voices, the right microphone doesn't just record sound, it makes people want to listen. And that's the end of this episode. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to help us make creativity accessible to everyone, while you watch Balance Point Creates.